As governor, the most important part of my job is keeping the people of Missouri safe. Families must be able to see their kids off safely to school in the morning, walk their neighborhoods at night, and keep the doors of their businesses open without fear for their lives or property. Citizens must also have the right to express themselves peacefully without being threatened by individuals intent on creating violence and disorder. In the days immediately following Michael Brown's death, peaceful protests were marred by senseless acts of violence and destruction. Vandals smashed the windows of small businesses. Criminals looted and set fire to stores. Gunshots and Molotov cocktails endangered citizens exercising their First Amendment rights and law enforcement attempting to maintain peace. That ugliness was not representative of Missouri, and it cannot be repeated. The St. Louis County prosecutor has not announced the exact date of the decision will be made, only that it will be in mid to late November. The U.S. Department of Justice is also conducting both civil and criminal investigations. That is why we have been working around the clock to prepare to keep the residents and businesses of St. Louis region safe, regardless of the outcome of the parallel local and federal investigations. Officers from the Missouri State Highway Patrol, St. Louis County Police, and St. Louis City Police will operate as a unified command to protect the public. The National Guard has been and will continue to be part of our contingency planning. The Guard will be available when we determine it is necessary to support local law enforcement. Quite simply, we must and will be fully prepared. The law enforcement planning efforts also include coordination with fire service, EMS, and other services that may have to respond. Law enforcement agencies are prepared to extend shifts and limit leave, while the patrol will be bringing in officers from across our state to provide support as needed to local jurisdictions. The Department of Public Safety has distributed additional equipment to make sure the agencies involved can communicate effectively with each other. These measures are not being taken because we are convinced that violence will occur, but because we have a responsibility to prepare for any contingency. The public demands, and I demand that. This coordinated effort will be guided by our core principles: keeping the public safe while allowing people to speak. This is America. People have a right to express their views and grievances, but they do not have the right to put their fellow citizens or their property at risk. Over the past 2 months, more than 1,000 law enforcement officers have gone through more than 5,000 hours of specialized training, with an emphasis on protecting the constitutional rights of peaceful demonstrators. The law enforcement leaders behind me have spent the last few months going into the community, to churches, schools, businesses, to listen to people's concerns and develop strategies to specifically address them. We also continue to have productive conversations with faith, civil rights, and protest leaders about concrete ways that we can facilitate peaceful expression while maintaining public safety. With these shared principles comes a shared expectation that peaceful protesters, community leaders, and clergy will work with law enforcement to identify individuals intent on causing violence and committing crimes so that law enforcement may address those individuals in order to protect public safety. As I said before, violence will not be tolerated. The residents and businesses of this region will be protected.